Hi, in this tutorial I will show you how to build a dimension selector in Google Looker Studio. So a dimension selector is a way for you to choose which dimension in Looker Studio you'd like to display in a table or other type of charts. This is very similar to, if you're familiar with Google Analytics Universal, we had this table where you could have a dimension and select a secondary dimension, for example. So we're kind of trying to reproduce that, and the advantage of that is you don't need to have multiple tables with every combination of dimension possible. You can have a single table where instead you can change which dimensions are displayed without having to give edit access to the users. So to see it in action, I have this little demo here. So as you can see, we have a drop down here, and I've chosen some dimension, but this can be whatever dimension you are interested in. And I built a secondary one which has the same field, but it could be different, right? So for example, over here we can see the dimension selected is session source medium, and over here it's landing page. But let's say we would like to see number of sessions on session source medium, and the secondary dimension we'd like for it to be campaign, for example. So we can go here, session campaign, and there you go. So now sessions campaign is selected, and this column now is now using session campaign instead of landing page. All right, so very useful, and this is not a built-in features in Google Looker Studio. So it requires some know-how in order to build that. So let's get to it. I'll show you how it's done. All right, so the first thing you will want to do is create a parameter in your data source. All right, so we will go to our data source here. In this case, I'm using the Google Merchandise Store demo account, but you can use any data source for that. We're going to click Edit, and now add a parameter. All right, we're going to call that parameter select a dimension. As of now, you're not able to rename parameters, so it's important that you name it the way you want it to be displayed right away, because you won't have the option to change it like you would with normal dimension or normal fields. All right, and now we're going to select the text, and we're going to choose list of values, and we're going to fill that out with the dimension we'd like to have as part of our drop down. All right, so we have session source medium, and this will be the default value. We have session campaign, page path, landing page, and these needs to be named exactly the way the field is called from your source. All right, so that is done. I'm going to click save. And we will go ahead and create another dimension, and this time it's going to be a regular dimension. We're going to call this one select a dimension parameter. So we're calling it something very similar to what we already called the dynamic. I'm sorry. And now we're going to create a dimension. Right, so we're going to call this one select a dimension parameter, and the field we're going to use for that is the one we just created. Select a dimension. All right, that is saved. And now we need to create the actual case function that will do the heavy lifting. All right, so we're going to create another field, and this one we're going to call just dimension. All right. The case function, the formula is in the article. You can copy and paste it there. I'll try to have that also in the comment if you're looking at this on YouTube, or in the description of the video. All right, so here's the case function, and now you can click save on that. All right, so this is how you create a dimension selector. Now in our case, we'd like to have two different dimension selector. So we will basically just repeat the process. So this time I'll go a bit faster. All right, we'll create another one here. Oops, I'm sorry. We cannot copy these, so we'll have to do it manually again. Again, these could be different. They don't have to be exactly the same, but in order to make this video a bit shorter and recreate something very similar that we are used to have in Google Analytics Universal, if you are one of these people, we'll make it that way. The only thing different I'm going to make for this one is change the default to landing page. All right, I'm going to save this. And we're going to create another dimension here. So select, and this one is going to be called select a secondary dimension, and the field is going to be this one. And now we have to create the case function. All right, now we can save. And there you have it. So now the only thing we have left to do is we're going to create a table here. All right. And now let's say we want sessions here. And we will be selecting dimension and secondary dimension over here. Now we need to add the actual drop downs. So this first one, we will be using this parameter. Select a dimension. I'm going to make this a bit longer. All right, and this second one we will be using select a secondary dimension. All right, I'm going to resize that. I'm going to align that here just so it's easier to use and understand. All right, and let me make that a little bit prettier. All right, I'm not too sure why the default for this one isn't set to, oh, okay, because for some reason this didn't work. So select a secondary dimension. Yeah, landing page, that's right. All right, so now we have it working, right? So if I go here and let's select campaign, for example, there you have it, it works. The only thing remaining is, as you can see, we don't necessarily know which one are selected. Yes, we could just look at the drop down, but I think it's nice to add that to the table. So here's how you're gonna do that. Let's create another table. And let's use select a dimension. And what we're going to do is not show the header. We're going to make this as small as possible. We are going to be removing the pagination and also row numbers so that we are only left with the field, basically. So I see now we also have the line, so might as well just remove the lines as well. So if I go here, table color, we're gonna make everything transparent. There you go. So the only thing remaining we have to clean is that little number here. Yeah. So sometimes Looker Studio is kind of funny. Sometimes you have to have one here. Yep. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll include that again. All right, so if you get that issue, don't panic. It happens. So we'll just create that back again. We'll just copy and paste the style only. Again, we're going to do just that here. Now we're going to place that here, just a line. Another neat little trick, if you hold shift and press the down arrow, it's going to move in very small increment, allowing you to be a bit more precise in your placement. All right. Now to get rid of that 6 over here, there's no real way of doing that. So we'll just cheat a little and create this rectangle and place it right on top. The color doesn't look like it's exactly the same, so now it looks like it is. All right. So we're just gonna do that and copy. All right. And for this one, we are going to be using a different source. All right, again, don't panic. We're just gonna do it again. All right, this doesn't work because this is the demo GA4 setting, right? That the API has some limits, so when you make too many requests, it's gonna give you that message. But the idea remained the same. The only difference for that second one is you're gonna be using, instead of select a dimension parameter, you're going to use the select a secondary dimension parameter. Looks like with the GA4 quotas, we won't be able to see the final result. I would have to wait an hour for it to work, but you get the idea. We've seen how it works with the first dimension. It's the exact same process for the secondary dimension. So I hope this was helpful. And yeah, hopefully I will upload more videos with more tips and tricks with Looker Studio, BigQuery, and how to build a modern data pipeline. All right, so see you in the next one. All right, cheers.